these are my only intentions. Stay in the kitchen cooking up, got your own bread. Heart full of equity, you're an asset. Make sure that you don't need no mentions. Yeah, these are my only intentions. You're my rock, my Colorado. Got the ring, just like Toronto. Love you now, a little more tomorrow. That's how I feel. Act like you know that you want.
I wish everyone present today a very warm welcome and good evening to Dr. Su Win Chi, Associate Professor, Faculty in UiTM Malaysia, and Professor Madhya Dr. Sabaria Muhammad Saleh, Associate Professor for the Center of Media and Communication Research, or FSSK UKM. And not forgetting our lovely delegates and enthusiastic spectators. And a very hearty thanks to all of you for taking some time out of your busy schedules in joining us tonight. I am your host for today's event. My name is Daniel, and from the Faculty of Health Science.
And I am Fazlena, also from the Faculty of Health Science. Welcome to the third day of International Students World Trade. Innovate, Transform, Exchange, iSwitch. So what is our agenda for today, Daniel?
Our theme for today is a pearl of wisdom. Sounds fancy, right? So gear up and get ready to absorb as much information as you can that will be shared by our invited speakers.
Without further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Su Win Chi to give her sharing on business-minded, yes or no. But before that, let me introduce Dr. Su Win Chi to everyone. Dr. Su Win Chi was a law graduate and she continued her studies in Masters in Music and she also gained her PhD in Business Admin. She also has a various experience. Some of them are Studio Graduate Assistantship at Berkeley Valencia College of Music, Spain, Live Music Production Fellowship also at Berkeley Valencia College of Music, Spain. She was also an artist, producer, and online brand strategist at Invincible Box Sendirian Berhad. Now she is an associate professor, Faculty of Music in UiTM. We should also highlight her recognitions. She was awarded at the Islamic Relief Icon in 2021, Social Ambassador for Annapurna Base Camp in 2022. She was also the first beauty queen appointed as Associate Professor in 2022. Such an honorable speaker. With that, let's call upon Dr. Su Winchi to be on screen. With all due respect, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the introduction. And yeah, I guess that I see amazing students here. We have almost like 50 people here. So today I would like, hi, I would like to share something. It's definitely about business and stuff because I've been through a lot of you and would like to know that, of course, business went across every field and stuff. If you guys knows what industry is happening and stuff, so it's much more prep for every one of us. So having some business skills for every faculty will definitely, I guess, this generation, everyone have to be entrepreneur or having entrepreneur leader mindset. So without further ado, can I have my slides? Yeah. So yeah, Nurul will be sharing for me. So I prepped some slides and stuff fresh from the ovens as well. So a lot of times we ask like you know, even like for me, I was in I did law before, I was in business, but before law as well, I did chemical engineering actually. So I was a pure science. Then I jumped to arts and now social science. In UITM, I also teach music business and music technology. So every faculty have evolved. So yeah. Can I have my slide, Nurul? Okay. All right. Okay. Hang on. Okay. All right. So hang on. So the admin there will present my slides, right? Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So hang on, yeah. I'm going to present the
I
slides.
think we have some issue here.
Oh, okay. All
Connection.
right. No worries.
Okay.
No worries. No worries.
Right.
We're going to, yep. No
Sorry
worries.
again.
Yep. No worries. We're waiting for the tech. No worries. So, okay, then our mic. I will while waiting for the technical terms and stuff, I would like to ask, like here, what faculty are you guys in? Can you type in the chat group? Like, I want to see like anyone in business, art, or science, or engineering. Would like to know some of the background. Yeah, we have almost 50 here. Yeah. Oh, health science, amazing! Wow, 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 cool. Yeah, science and tech. Yeah, amazing. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. Wow, health science, amazing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Oh, wow, a lot of health science students here. Oh, very nice, very nice. So, are you guys first year or last year student or second year student? Health. Okay. Yeah. A first year. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Wow. First, second. Okay. So, any like science students, I always ask, or second year student, I always ask, does any one of you have any like business background or attended any business lecturers and stuff? Yeah, second year. Is there anyone like science students? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Chesley. You're so pretty, doctor. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to share like a lot of things where even like health science or yeah, I'm doing music tech as well and stuff. So it's good to know. Yeah, some of us do have it, but some of us know. Yeah. So get ready. Even health science student, be good in pitching and writing proposal because funding and also business strategy is. Oh, that's good. That's good. Not go. No, but going for entrepreneurship, amazing, amazing. Yeah, amazing. But I'm going to share you also like because what's the industry are looking for and how do you position yourself? Because especially I know that you guys want to see CV and all these things, right? And a lot of like I was from science as well. Like I slowly innovate myself as well. So okay, cool. So can I have the next slide? So definitely go back to the basic and stuff. What's business and stuff? Okay, it's as common as enterprising entity engagement is commercial, industry, and professional activities. Okay, nowadays whatever it is, there's transaction, there's business. So regardless of any field, even engineering or any field and stuff, it's good to have some business term and stuff because nowadays you are your own manager, you are your own entrepreneur, you might be all in one, right? So I did that. I did that as well. So for me as well, I do pitching for my music, and I pitching for business proposal and all these things. Like even my friends from science or medical, because there are product to sell, or even you need to pitch for sponsorship and or what people are looking at the CV, not just on the what you study, what value can you bring. So can I have the next one? So as we go deeper, what's business? Okay, so can I have the next slide? Okay, so business intelligence is definitely whatever you study and stuff. That's your core, right? So one day you're going to meet client, you're going to go into market and stuff, right? It's very important to have business intelligence where you must always think that okay, if you are good in what you study and you are good in what you do, and you can bring sales and revenue, and you can know about marketing and everything, you will definitely be one of the best top tier people going to select you, especially people who have science and a bit of business background. That's the most sought after. In Berkeley, nowadays, there's music business, music law, and I did music production technology. And yeah, I did music business previously as well. So can you imagine our art faculty? It's already combining. So science, art, tech, art, that's the best combination. Of course, the main dish is still like your health science, but what's your sub? So a lot of times, like it used to be 10 years ago, you still can afford a manager and stuff. But nowadays, people like you all are so brilliant and stuff. I encourage you all to get like entrepreneurship class and everything, because majority of it is it's quite once you know the element, what are we looking for and what client or people are looking for, it's very easy for you to get pitching grant or even jobs and stuff. So step by step, it always goes to customer branding and stuff. So can I have the next slide? So as we go deeper, okay, so talking about growing a company, a lot of people nowadays like, oh, no job, but you might start your business or you might start something enterprising so that you can create portfolio. So a lot of times, like you go through all this stage where usually we'll spend 5 years above to grow one small baby company. So if it's less than 5 years, is really doesn't really calculate at all. So you always must remember that stage one, there's always an existence, then survival, success ready, then take off, then also resource maturity. So stuff like you, a lot of people fail is because they fail to acknowledge the cycle. So a lot of people think that it's ever growing, but there are a few cycle where we have to acknowledge how to go to the next round and how to reinvent. So a lot of steps we say that to build a brand, a business, 5 years, at least 5 years, you are a small mini brand. Okay. So if you can't survive the 5 years, you have to rethink back your model. So a lot of times, step by step, if less than 5 years, it's not considered like a brand, meaning it failed. Okay. So can I have the next slide? So again, that of course, business administration and stuff, this one is all the component that you guys have to take account to and stuff, because even science department have to deal with all these things, accounting, HR, finance, even you building your own company. Of course, it will evolve. You don't need so many department because some of you might multitask. So that's why a lot of a science student, we take an MBA later, so that you topper with that. It's okay to do master in business later on, even you have a science background and stuff. You always can do something different. So a lot of us, and maybe in art also, we did something social science, or in science we did something MBA later. So because you must know how to governance and economics, trades, marketing. Once you know all this course, the money is there, and also your cost of operation will be low. Can you imagine nowadays, until today, sometimes I run everything by myself. So the reason back then was why I did so many degrees and stuff. Can you imagine sometimes when I go TV station, there's so many restriction, and maybe interdepartment, they don't know what to do and stuff. But in international now, each of us will do 2 to 3 jobs together. Then like that, the company will definitely pick us first compared to other candidates. So a lot of times, yes, can you imagine? I just finished my music business pitching for Spotify, because can you imagine now I need to produce, teach, proposer, funding, everything by myself. But it's good is because my industry already digitalized. Okay. So I always, like people always like to ask celebrities, especially music, we are disruptive. Music, we are always the trendsetter. You know why? Because we evolved. So a lot of people will come and ask us musician or music people in front. Once we know something is happening, like we're going to evolve. So a lot of times we're selling digital sales already. We are earning through streamings, and whenever you listen, I get paid. So it's no longer by selling CD anymore. Yes, it's visibility. Because traditionally, if you think business, why you buy advertisement? Because the TV have certain viewership, right? So that's why I also encourage your even student times and stuff, build your own social media platform. Because later I'm going to tell you about future trends for KOL or KO something else, because it's evolving. So you rather plan the future than just focusing on the current trend. Okay. So rethink. Sometimes even now I'm doing my ACCA as well because it's funny, but because sometimes you want your dream to come true, you're gonna get your way. And it's cheap. I always encourage, you know, being a businesswoman, everyone did know that, I'm the most budget queen ever. So I always challenge students to get the cheapest so that later on I'll explain why, because the return of investment is going to be large. Okay. So because students, I want them affordable, I want to challenge your budget, because if I don't challenge you now and stuff, you later on you're going to die, especially health science and stuff. I know you're going to spend a lot, especially in that department. So okay, can I have the next slide? So a lot of times I need you all to think. Okay. So in business or cross business, okay, and also your organization charge. One day, of course, you can't do everything by yourself sometimes. You must think what organization charge suits you. Okay. No right or wrong, but you will progress through a few organization chart, or you might choose company. Okay. So be aware of their organization chart. If it's too many hierarchy, I don't encourage, because we are going through a lot of turbulence, and music now, there's only two layers. So look at the organization chart here. I know that every industry, they will have a few different chart, but the lesser the layer, the faster you will go. But of course, the stress will be more. So depend always know what's your suitable organization chart. Like for mine now, I really reinvented into something called hybrid 360, meaning it's patchable and repatchable. And every producer must do more than few what do you call that strength and stuff. Only we can collaborate. So you must set your brand and stuff. Even me, because Spotify already have million streams, so I only collaborate people same paths. Then the value is there. So you must create your brand value. So bit by bit, everyone is young now, but one day you guys going to be someone. I bet everyone going to be someone. But okay, the next slide. Are you going to work with each other as well? So as we see, okay, so always until today, okay, I always like to encourage people and stuff. It's as simple as that. Right now, all this thing, what's your mission and statement? If you were to set a company, I always tell students, don't go out only you think. You think while you are the student now. So that you know why? Now it's a prototype. Prototype test in school, and you have so many free people here and you are doing it at a low cost. Do not get out only you start. You are lacking your time already. Even art student, I'm pushing them out, even diploma, to work part-time already, because stuff are progressing fast. So again, that if you want to set up like prototype or whatever, like in overseas, we are pushed to set up prototypes during our school time. No choice. Okay, so you always set what's your mission and statement. Okay, your vision statement. If okay, imagine you want to create a health product, or health science, or your service. Tell us all these things. It can be just one liner. Then slowly you are going to add on more and more later on. So put down as wide as what's your mission statement, how your service or your product is going to bring a change to that industry. Because getting into one industry, remember, yeah, don't think as a worker, think as a leader. If you are going in just as a talent, no, get in as a personal brand. Okay. So if you can contribute towards your organization, you're not competing with anyone. You are actually contributing to the society. People will welcome you. A lot of people enter by having student thought or secondary thought that I want to beat the market. No, you can't beat the market. How can you contribute? If you beat the market will beat you back. So where is your position? What's your vision statement? And strategy. Okay. So and then objective goals, you can set it on later. But the big statement is, back then, when I was young, when I was doing music, I was doing science. The only thing I was thinking that, of course, music dream was my dream, but it's just that, Asian parents, we had to study science, we had to study all this, but I didn't regret. Because I learned a lot of things. So a lot of times, plan whatever thoughts now in university, because when you get out of the work, you don't even have time to write all this down. A lot of times I always push myself during university time to faster get all the prototypes and faster to get all this vision statement, so that while your employer or anyone, you can drag out as fast as possible. So a lot of times it's about speed, it's about accuracy, it's about what else you can bring to the table. Next slide. Okay, so again, that the next one. So always keep this in the stuff, especially when you are going to grow. And then, of course, this one I love it, your budget. During school time, I always challenge the budgeting, is because school, I always say, how can you do with zero budget? Your time cost or collaboration with students. In Berkeley, when they say that I have to do the 10,000 budget, no, I did zero cost. So I try and learn and go every courses and do it by myself. Because when student time, I tried to push my students or my friend. I tell them that let's collaborate, so that one day and stuff, yes, we going to spend a bit more. Not that if you student also you spend so much already, imagine getting out of the school. It's not worth it. So a lot of times, budget. Remember, what can you do with zero cost? What can you do with 500 ringgit? What can you do to 1,000? And then step by step you go. Don't suddenly pop too big budget, because budget nowadays is hard to find. And if you can and budget all these things and set a budget and stuff, you can do with zero cost, meaning if it's zero cost, meaning you're doing yourself and or collaboration with your team members, it's amazing. Then your return of investment is going to be very high. Okay, so because when you get out of the market, the differences is all this costing, because people want the best service, the less price, and maximum revenue. Of course, the quality must be nice. So, and think of ways, where's your source of budget? Grant, yes. A corporate sponsor, yes. Or working different jobs, yes. Some of us in the art line, we work 3 to 4 jobs. It's crazy. Nowadays, the market is very volatile. We have to diversify. So in Hollywood as well, everyone is washing dishes, or I was wrapping cables in Berkeley and stuff. I don't care, because I don't want to wait. If you can't get your grant, go and work your way out. If you can get a job and stuff, maybe try and do enterprising stuff, because setting an enterprise now is very low cost in Malaysia. And always practice in Malaysia first, because this is our home ground. Whenever we fall, the costing is still low. Imagine getting into Europe, getting into other country is times 5. Our money is very small. So always remember budget. Okay. The next slide. Yeah. Okay. Of course, whenever you have you always I always say that try to be a bad person for a good reason, for a good cause. Whenever you must have a person to defend, a person called financial controller. So you must have, whenever there must in a team, one person must be the bad person. Hey, so sorry, why are you spending this and stuff? So that there's a QC cross check. So always remember, listen, analyze, plan, implement. A lot of people fail because they don't listen and they only speed and see figure, and they always compete. It's wrong. It's still come to profit and loss. So a lot of times it doesn't mean in any field and stuff. Please remember, be the bad person to control the leakage. A lot of people fail is not to say they can't grow. It's because they leak a lot and they overexpand. Especially Malaysia, never overexpand in any field. If not, it's just going to be a bubble. Okay, can I have the next slide? Again, that like my industry, okay, ours is creative and stuff. So your industry, health science, try and segmentize it out, because that's your market segmentization. Like at creative industry, so many. Your industry, segmentize it out. Even health science, there are so many departments. Know well that department and see overseas what's new department emerging. So you know that what's new market you can tap into. So usually it's like exam, when I went in going to do business, creative field, okay, I want to see what's available so that I know which market to tackle, not just into one. So you want to score everything, because at least you know what's happening. So that's why back then I was tapping into what do you call that? Advertising on TV, design, fashion, video. But the thing is, every time I use different tools to get in. So rethink a lot of things and know that where's your market segmentization. Okay, know well and ask people around and ask industry people and go and study and see what overseas people are doing in your line. So because if overseas is advanced, definitely overseas are way advanced. So look at what are they doing. One day it's going to hit Malaysia. So a lot of time it's always like that. So now especially globalization. So always I say that if international is doing that, we there's no escape. Okay, so can I have the next slide? So talking about all this, financial control, administration, and stuff, I wanted to point out branding and marketing, where you know our country, a lot of people doesn't even know that what's the difference about branding and marketing. If you don't have a brand, how can you market? You get what I mean? A lot of people say, okay, I market. If you see, like, you go and see all the pasar malam lah and stuff. That's the old style. Yes, yes. Back then, whatever you sell also can laku. But you don't have a brand now. How are you going to push? I always say that it used to be you push for other people brand, but creating a brand, it's very, very hard. Okay, like doing OEM and stuff is way easier. And being a talent is easy. Even a personal brand for us is no longer just talent. We have to be a brand. So being a brand, you have to have everything. Your brand promise, you have to build customer loyalties, you have to do everything. Then only marketing. Because if you don't have a brand and stuff and you simply market, one day everything is going to fail. So branding is what people perceive about you. Marketing, it's what I say. You faham, right? So that's why even personal brand, okay, because you guys were going to sell service, right? It's not just product, right? Especially now we're selling intellectual property, right? What's your brand? What's your brand? Even in health science, like for us, like, okay, I'm the beauty queen who sing and I have a law degree, blah, 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 blah. That's your layering lah. Okay, so your personal brand, you have to find it as well before you find your brand for your product. So even your product as well, a lot of times a name can be a brand and stuff, but of course it's deeper than that. In health science, skills, production, your brand longevity, and also your whole package and everything, then only you market. Okay, that's why I was like, why, like people have a brand, Nestle or whatever. Of course they built through a lot of years, but what's your brand? Just now the mission, vision statement is going to lead you to your brand. Okay, so that's why, next slide. That's why this is very important. What's your USP? When you go interview, what's your unique selling point? CV, everyone can score already. I remember, in Berkeley, right, every one of us scored 4.0 or first class. But what's your USP? How can you, like, okay, everyone can score already. Okay, get in. Okay, pitch yourself. 5 minutes speech. Okay, so you have to tell what's your extra point. So back then, okay, of course I say that, like, multiple degrees, I'm an artist from Asia, I can do this, I have Spotify, I have channels and all these things. I already positioned myself. So what's your unique selling point? And unique selling point, you have to grow during your school time already. So within school time, get into more co-curriculums, go and do different departments, because you're going to get free experiences, where in the industry is going to be hard, or even go and do different internship. So a lot of time, it doesn't mean that you need to be in that field. You can volunteer into different fields, so you bring new insight to your field. You're going to be so different. Imagine a health science person who can sing or do event or do marketing and stuff. You're going to win the game. So I always challenge people, your generation is going to be smarter than us. So what's your unique selling point? What else? Bigger. And then, so it's like, there's nothing to compete, because each of us from different personality, each of us have different skills. I want to challenge you all to, to grow, especially now after COVID, push double the effort to get your CV way better. If not as well, like do part-time work and stuff, work from low, go and see other fields and stuff. I'm encouraging everyone that's like to go and see, so that, people like say that, oh, I graduate, there's no experience. Hey, this I experience. When you do event in your school, experience. When you lead a program, you experience. When you don't go and do part-time internship, all these are your experience. They are all looking at all these things, so that CV I also have, and I can come down. People want all this package and this attitude, because if not, people will think, oh, graduate doesn't want to come. No, actually, we are showcasing that we are willing to come down and willing to do more. So your unique selling point is so good. The next slide. Again, positioning and stuff. Okay, so can we go back to there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry. You just go through all my slides. So back. So some of, okay, here. Okay, here. All right. So always, right, this is the brand marketing where I always ask, right? Okay, always have an intersect, yeah. Be alert what people do the best, and then what the customer wants, and what your brand does the best. The intersect is your winning point. Okay, so there's nothing to compete actually, because all of us are university students, and it's no longer like secondary school. Okay, so we passed that phase. So position yourself, because studying the same field, you guys are going to different companies, right? And you guys going to go different ways, even, but the best thing is like, I always have my best colleague or best friend during my college time, because we are all we are all friends to share each other resources and stuff while we going into the workforce. Remember that, be unite in your, of course, your faculty and stuff, because these are your people is going to grow the next generation. It's just like us study music. Like, we know that a bunch of us, we have to push the music industry or the art industry. So you guys as well, always remember, yeah, like even like in music, a lot of people are so talented, but they fail to acknowledge what customer wants. And banyak yang shock sendiri. You faham or not? I always say, serve your customer first, get in the money first. Later, you want to do whatever, up to you. I always say, I was like, yes, I always ask my fans, I was like, what music you want to listen? Go and do research. Until some of us, we are very articulate, until we come out and ask. And I even handled everything by myself. I even fired my manager to handle my student show and everything, because I wanted to know what student wants. Even when I teach and stuff, I don't behave like a professor. I come down and interact with them, because I think that there shouldn't be any hierarchy if you are willing to share. So a lot of times, like, I don't behave like a professor. So because, like, especially my line, I was like, it's too fast, I told them. So a lot of times we want you all to get the fresh information, and that's the main purpose of education. So always remember, it still must generate something, and be smart in positioning. Okay, so when you serve people, people are going to serve you back. Okay, next slide. Okay, of course, positioning as well. Always remember, when you just now budget, yes. So after budget ready, right, one day you are going to have your own bargaining for your own salary, or selling your product, right? Position as well. Of course, aim for the best price, but not too expensive, so that you're going to generate your return of investment the highest, the margin. Of course, not to ask you to go cutthroat margin, no way, because you must maintain the quality, price, intersect, and everything, because nowadays market is tough and market is very competitive. It doesn't mean that high price is not going to people buy, but be versatile in positioning yourself as well. Okay, and be strategic for asking salary as well. If you're going for job scope and stuff, be smart. I always say that, ask low first so that you manage your promise, then you can demand more later. Be smart. Okay, so you manage your brand promises. All right, so next slide. Okay, ROI. This is always we ask. Whenever you drop a proposal nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, remember, you're asking for sponsorship and everything. If you're asking for 1,000 ringgit, you must give 3,000 ROI. What's the return of investment? This is pitching deck nowadays. If we're asking for 10,000, you have to give 30,000 ROI. If not, they are not going to sponsor. So same thing. What are you going to return ROI for your company or your employer? Because if you're going to bring high ROI, the return of investment, you are going to be sorted after. So always think of getting value than demanding more. Because once you can what do you call it, produce the value, you will be very valuable beyond your field. Okay, all right. So next slide. As I said, business is very deep. It's not just numbers. And remember, branding and innovation. That's the best sweet spots for this generation. Because back then you don't need innovation and stuff, but now we need innovation. Health science lagi banyak innovation. You guys have to. So like that, you get your competitive advantage, your business grow, and people are going to come to you more than you go to them. So what's your innovation? Even my line, I innovate myself. So innovation is not just product, yeah? Innovate yourself as well. You as a science student, what different hybrid things later on in your CV, or what can you bring on the table? You are going to be so different. Okay, so next slide. Okay, again, when you brand something, emotional branding is very, very important, especially when you brand a product or your journey. because people are going to feel it. Okay, but of course not too emotional and whatever. But you have to set a brand where people look up to you and people grow with you. That's the best brand. Emotional branding is the hardest to achieve. If you can make people feel, then you win as a brand. Doesn't care it's a product or whatever, so that it's much more humanized. Even health science things, it shouldn't be that boring. I see people coming up with creative ideas. So I always say that it doesn't mean that science student must be boring or whatever. Be versatile, grow so that people feel your brand, feel your journey. Especially you guys will be the health pioneer. Health things and stuff. If you put in emotional and the brand and innovation, you will win the game. You will definitely win the game. So a lot of people fail is because they show too scientific. It's like it's still you're selling things to your customer. You're selling things. You're dealing with clients. So emotional brand definitely, and collect stories. Always failure or whatever is still a story for your own brand and your business brand, because a lot of people don't want failure. I know science student we are always perfect, right? But sometimes science student, I always say like this, just go and fail when you're a student. So you take a bit of story lah, okay? So don't fail when you're having business or whatever. No, I don't want you all to do that. When you're a student and stuff, go and collect some story, okay? Pandai pandai. Because people are going to connect to you. You know why? One day you're going to sell this to all this customer. So, I always go and speak to customer, right? I was like, they can't relate when we talk like science and stuff, because we understand, right? Even music, if I talk like, oh, I want like mixing like that, they can't feel. They only can feel. Does this? I always, the lyrics, especially like I need to put like whatever hit them. Oh, sure hit on. They don't know the music, how much we put and stuff, but where's the connecting point? I know you guys will be so professional, but one day have no choice. You're going to deal with client, and if you can bring in sales or department and all the things, I was like, have some emotional and story to connect with people, and even connect with your colleagues, or even connect with your employer. People are going to feel that, because people nowadays, that day also I was meeting with some national HR. They are all looking at this because they know that people who have all this emotional branding are the people going to stay loyal to the company. You get what I mean, right? So be smart, collect all your ingredients during your university time, so you don't waste time, not just buy the book, but a lot of things to collect, right? So if you think as a business is, then you see my recipe already. So sometimes I was like, if you see the whole thing is like, then it's not as boring, because I'm showing you that what the industry is happening. So if you start now, you're going to be way better than us, because we started that after college or after university. So for us, that's why I said we have to go a lot of loops. But you guys, I encourage you, yeah, go forward and then start now. Then you're going to have a huge head start compared to us. Okay, so next slide. Again, that team building. Always, yeah, one thing, yeah, you must be good in yourself, but you must also be good in doing teamwork, so that one day if you are patchable or repatchable, remember the hybrid thing. So always, yeah, when you write your CV and stuff, not just your education background, write projects, yeah. When people see that you can work in project, only people, oh wow, then and especially health science stuff, you're going to work with so many different people. So team building, team building, team building. Go as many projects as possible, collect all the CVs, and learn how to work with different teams, hybrid team, diverse team, because that teamwork as well, you're going to learn more things than just yourself. But of course, you must prepare yourself as well. If you're not strong, of course, when you go into team, you're going to fail as well. So always be strong yourself, but be strong in the team as well. So you guys are versatile. You can be independent, but you can be teamwork. Because back then, a lot of people are good in teamwork, not good in independent. Good in independent, not good in teamwork, right? So this generation, I hope every one of you can be best of all worlds. Okay, everything, because like that, if I push you to overseas, you can survive. If I push you to local big team, you can survive. Then like that, you won't be afraid of getting eliminated. A lot of people are afraid because they are not comfortable. So always be versatile. Okay, so next slide. Okay, again, time management. Okay, if I show you my schedule now, I'm working sometimes 24 hours, because apart from associate professor, I won't let go of my industry work, because I always think that it must be synchronized. If the industry doesn't work, how can I teach? So I don't want to teach outdated stuff, especially my industry. Ours is forever, popular music is forever evolving, and film work or whatever, it's always re-evolving. So time management, management. So everyone have 24 hours per day. So maximize during your college time, because now is the time for you to collect whatever it is. Back then, like I really work 16 to 20 hours per day. You only will see me in the first orientation week saying hi to everyone, then I'm going to run already. So always remember, set your own things and stuff, run whenever you want to collect whatever it is, so that we don't waste time. Okay, so you guys, even university level, you guys are next level. Yeah, because I don't want to see like when you come out there's no job employment, or people think that, hey, why no, don't have any experience. No, now first year, second, third year, last year, that still chance. Get out and go and do way ahead of us. Don't wait already. Okay, so next slide. Okay, again, efficiency, planning, reminder, controlling. Because now if you set a formula, when you get out the work and stuff, you are going to be more effective, efficient than anyone else. Okay, because it's still about productivity. So sometimes when I am a student, I push myself to the limit, so that the master strength is there already. So then when you get out and stuff, you're going to win a lot of things. Okay, so the next slide. Okay, again, increase of technology usage and stuff. I guess that health science, definitely you guys are going into that department, because sometimes in the art industry people are still not incorporating technological stuff, because nowadays industry 4.0, 5.0 is coming. Technology is there, but we need human intelligence as well. Okay, it doesn't mean that chat gpt can do everything and stuff. Just now my professor just told me that no, when we check, it's still a lot of errors. We still need people. People overseas are still doing coding and all the things. I was like, we still need professional. Okay, we still need professional. Okay, so people creating that also, they are professional people behind the scene. All right, so no, we need graduates. Okay, we need intelligent people like you all. Don't listen. Sometimes it's like the news are too big and stuff, but reality is we need great people. Okay, next slide. Flexibility as well, as I mentioned. Science students, like, because I was from pure science, a lot of my friend went into medic, chemical engineering and stuff. One problem with my generation was they were too not flexible. So art student, we have sorry, science student, like back then we have this inflexibility. So this generation of science student, I hope that you guys can be better than us, and please challenge the status quo. I was amazed. In overseas, I can see like science student can do different stuff. I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, because my friend, a lot of them are pure doctors. They regret of not doing like business or everything. So that's why I was like, today's topic is very interesting, because a lot of them, like my friend, right, in science, right, they're so good in their professional, but their business sucks so bad. When I push them for business, first class student also fail, because they didn't know was so deep, and they did not have to have client life servicing. That's why when they see me, why am I running here and there? I was like, yeah, you can't do my job. I was like, I can't do your job as well. I was laughing, I was comparing, because we were the top 10 in class, right? So I was good in my science, but I also was good with my art. So I was the art science person. And my friend, everyone, wow, 10A1 and stuff, and. But I was doing part-time music already behind. But yeah, they become doctors as well. It's just that I become doctors in business and art. So when I did with them and stuff, they are very good doctors, but they are very professional doctors. If you talk business with them, they don't get it. Even my lawyer friend, they won't understand. So that's why I always like to share my business slides, because it's too late for them to learn. I always tell them, yeah, just remain as a doctor and a lawyer. I don't think can do business. So, but you guys, I think that your USP and stuff, and it's competition nowadays. And I bet that each of you will be an entrepreneur one day, which I want to see you develop new project and stuff. Nobody wants to work under someone, right? But of course, I encourage you to work for someone, so that you learn the cycle first. Remember, growing a brand is 5 years. Time yourself this 5 years. Don't suddenly just open your company and without going for training. Ridiculous. Then you're going to leak a lot of money. Even in overseas, why I start as a student? Because I buy time. Can I work under you? Yeah, maybe one day if I'm going to open, okay? Now cannot lah. Now, now you're going to die under me, okay? Because now I'm doing a lot of production music and stuff, and a lot of my friends are double master, okay? It's quite high criteria for the music line nowadays. So I was like, yeah, because nowadays, and even can you imagine, like in UITM or whatever, even industry, a lot of them are double master. Okay, I was like shocked. I mean, art line, because we have no excuse. Art, I have no excuse already, right? It's like, I mean, like science, okay, like still, you're still, for us art, right? A lot of us are double PhDs, because can you imagine there's no more artist visa now in overseas? And now I'm getting my educational visa so that I can travel overseas for other things. So the law just imposed in China, in Spain, and nobody understand us. So, but now, yeah, but maybe one day, yeah, maybe I will develop some health things and stuff. Yeah, maybe one day and stuff. We can don't work under me. I don't like people work under me. Let's collaborate lah. Okay, because I always encourage people. No, I don't like I don't like to train workers or followers. Hey, I like to train pioneers or apprentice. Okay, right? I was like, really, this generation, really, I don't want under and stuff now is very risky. I always encourage you all to think having this entrepreneurship. If anything happen, you guys can set up anything. You look at COVID. So it challenged our limit. Of course, every one of us never escaped. Everyone was in bad shape. Even until now, a lot of us are still in bad shape, but we are not giving up. In every line, I always believe back in 2008 when I came back from my law degree and stuff, it was a bad economic crisis as well. Again, it was during the darkest period I set up my own brand because that was when a lot of people they won't compete with you, and if you can do it and stuff, meaning you are the brightest star. I always say that people who are good in doing what they are good, you are not afraid of anything. And you must do extra good than the market, better than the market. Then when you enter to the market, you are going to win the game. So that's how Berkeley trainers as well. So when you enter to all this first class school and stuff, actually the difference is they push us quite a lot, and you're going to see a lot of people. So sometimes it's what you plant in the university, then it's going to push you further on. Okay, so the next slide. Okay, again, leadership. Okay, that's why I always say that I only like I like to I like to train leader. I don't like to use people as my follower, because I really think that especially university, that's very disgracing, and I'm not a boss. Okay, yeah, I against that, because even nowadays in a lot of places, a lot of people are stealing young people's stuff, and I was young before, I was a newcomer before and stuff, so we've been through that phase. We don't want people to go through that. That's why we as a senior or stuff, I always say that not work under. I always say that when in overseas we call this fellowship, apprentice. We are no longer I don't like actually internship also, we don't use the word already. So that's why, because overseas we acknowledge human rights, and we hope that one day you are going to be independent. So like that, we are going to collaborate in the project, and it's amazing if you can go eye to eye. So always remember strategic planning, thinking, learning. Be strategic, yeah. Don't whatever only follow by. Okay, you must know the law, you must know the basic theory, but you have to go beyond it. Faham, yeah? We must know the basic concept, but you must be flexible, add on. You must get things beyond your faculty, then you will have the whole package. If not, it's going to be very square. No way. No way. That's why I always say that business is whatever it was lacking for the science stream back then. That's why I did a PhD and stuff. When I tell them that it's deep, and of course you are going in to experience yourself as well. So definitely this generation, a lot of us might not get a job or might start as an entrepreneur first. No right or wrong. Okay. So as long as step by step, hands on, you're going to get somewhere. And of course, strategic learning and planning as well. Okay. The next slide. Again, industry academic. Always remember that when you head into industry, push for more times out. Of course, academic and stuff and research line and stuff, we have to keep researching as well. So I bet a lot of y'all will go for your master or PhD or whatever. Don't stop researching. Not reading just by the book, but research, get into the journals and all these things, so that you get life experience, especially for health science and stuff. It's very valuable to tap into that line and stuff. Oh, and of course, I encourage people, to go back to teaching as well. Can you imagine, like, my line in Hollywood now, like my producer, how they doing? Monday to Friday they teach, at night they do freelancing stuff. Saturday, Sunday they fly back for Super Bowl and Oscar producing in Hollywood, and then summertime when holiday they tour with artists. So smart, right? There's no leakage of waste of talent, right? So rethink of your talent as well. That one day, and you might plan 2 to 3 different freelance, full time, project basis. So what offer can you give, as a practitioner? Okay. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay, of course. So analysis, this is the must. Okay, do every year. Okay, what's your strength, weakness, opportunity, threat? Because weakness, keep it. Because in business, don't showcase your weakness. You keep it, but definitely you turn it back to strength later. What's your strength? Then you can show it out. And then opportunity and threats. Always know this and always set a KPI. What's a KPI? Your key performance index. Because one day nobody's going to set your own KPI. Now we're giving you the syllabus, but one day, what if you're in the industry? For me, I'm going to set KPI every year so that I reach somewhere. If not, when you start working, you are going to drown yourself without a KPI, your own KPI, not the company KPI, because your personal growth is very important. Company can dispose you anytime, and you definitely will know what KPI your company needs. But your KPI must be strong to fulfill the company KPI or to fulfill that industry KPI. So I always say that personal KPI, it can be like learning new talents, learning new skill, learning something beyond your field. For me, I back then I have like something called a talent fund. So always I will learn new talent. Now I'll collect new certificate. So keep challenging yourself step by step, step by step, step by step. We might not, I back then I tell everyone, we might be jack of all trades first. One day we're going to be master of all trades. Okay? So things change. You guys, please don't limit yourself because the industry change. Doesn't mean that, oh, science stream cannot do this. No, I never limit. I also won't limit myself, especially people, intelligent people like you all. Go and experience more when you are young, when you're a student, because the cost of failing is very low for you all. Then later on, you're going to select. People is going to come to you. Like sometimes I just work from my home and stuff because I already grow my brand. I grow my customers. I grow my fans. Know all the streams. Then people will come to you. Next slide. Okay. Again, expectation. Don't overpromise. Always manage people expectation because that's a brand promise. Don't oversay it. Always say already, then do more. You're gonna win the game. Because if you overdo it, you underdo it, people are not going to engage you. Like people macam cakap besar lah. So I always say that be smart in planning your expectation and be smart in handling that. Don't burden yourself. When you push something as well, yes, you must push your limits, but take a step back if it's too burden, then push again. Okay? So like that, step by step, then there's no mismanagement of expectation. And go and test water first. A lot of people think that, oh, whoa, expectation is too perfect. The real world is cruel. The real world is not perfect. So stand by for all this imperfection. That's why now I always say that, now you do 400%. When you get out, you still left 100%. But if you just push 80% now, you get out, you left 20%, you're going to fail the exam in the industry or the real world. So be smart. Okay. So sometimes, not to say we want to be very gung ho, whatever, we have to push. Okay. So the next slide. Yeah. Okay. So definitely all the 6 in summary, a lot of time, decision, planning, commitment, all these basic things is as basic. But the thing is, when you carry out, you are going to fill in the blanks. You are going to fill in your steps, your journey. Do it by yourself. Okay. Don't depend too much on people. You can collaborate, but not 100%. Just depend on others. Okay. Next slide. Okay, this is my CV. so sometimes, like, okay, you can put your education, qualification and stuff. Then for us as well, it's very important for us, our artistic production, to add on a technological skill, then awards recognition. So you build your CV more and more. Of course, volunteerism, that's another chapter for that and stuff. So as many columns you have, people are going to be very impressed of your CV. Not just education, but education we all score. A lot of us score first class and stuff. So what's beyond that? What's your additional tech skill? What's your award? What's your project? What's your volunteerism? What else? So people are looking at that. Okay. Next slide. So one thing, never stop learning. Okay. So the more you learn, the more you don't know. Same as me. Okay. That's never ending for learning. Of course, it's not just by the book. You learn from a senior, you learn from events, you learn from speaker, non-stop cultivating, but of course from the real source. Okay. From the real source, not, and you have to judge it yourself and compare. All right. Next one. Next slide. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Almost time. So we're open for Q&A. So I hope that, because previously people, I try to make it more understanding for you all. Like business is very deep and stuff. Like if you want to go into different sector of business as well, it's deep. So I hope that you guys get something and stuff. If you pitch for your CV or whatever, I hope you can have a different CV. That's how I win all my awards and all my jobs in overseas and local. Yeah, if one day I have time, I can show you my pitching deck as well. I'm very good in pitching deck. I always win proposal. So because I was trained I see a lot of industry, and I went through a lot of great people talk. So I learned from them, and of course, like start writing like a lot of things, so that I like like sometimes I like to go in like all this Canva and stuff, write down your mission, vision, and write down your proposal plan and ROI and all those things, simple things. Okay, you're going to reach somewhere. At least you have a goal. Okay, at least you have a goal, not just, oh, I'm just looking for a job. It's very boring. But if you have something visualized and all these things, it's very fun because you're growing your own brand. That's how I get motivated every time. Say, hey, my brand lack of this, and stuff. Just imagine like you are like a product. So that then you're going to grow more and more and more. Yeah. Make it like a game. Then it's not so taxing. So a lot of us, I say it's going to be tough, but the thing is like, make it like a game. We're going to reach somewhere. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Suwinchi, for
Thank
such a
you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Okay. So we're going to open for the Q&A session. So is there any question like from the floor? You can type on the chat group as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure some of you must
Mm-hmm.
have some questions for Dr. Suwinchi.
Yep.
Do any of you have any questions about Dr. Suwinchi's speech? If you
Wow,
have
very
any
good.
questions,
I
don't
saw
be shy
one.
to ask.
Hani asked, thank you for the sharing. Hope you can share some tips and tricks. How do students can network better with people in the industry? You know what I do now? Go and stalk the LinkedIn first. Stalk LinkedIn and also ask for a lot of volunteerism and stuff. Because when student time and stuff, there will be a lot of projects and stuff they are asking for student to go in. So stalk the LinkedIn and study their portfolio. When you work for people and industry people, right? I always say don't look at the money first. Look at the mentor who can guide you. Get the best mentor you want, the most suitable one. When I did my music, whatever, I always stalk their LinkedIn, because the LinkedIn, okay, like it can't be 100% true, but at least you see the portfolio and stuff. Is that the person you want and stuff? Because industry people are all in LinkedIn. Especially health science, I saw a lot of them inside. So that's a way of doing that. But of course, second and third, aim for the company you want and stuff. Go for their volunteerism or whatever. Go for very sometime one first. I back then, you know what I did? I volunteered into the TV station as an extra first. Then I got my way already. So you have to start them low, damn low. Then I stalk them, but I don't know how to kickstart a conversation. No, you don't simply just kickstart, but always see and then Google their company and stuff. Then write a letter for them. A lot of them they like the proper way. You ask for, is there any volunteer I'm willing to take up like studentship or stuff or any project? I would like to. I would like to learn more, or even do a, sometimes you can do a research. Be smart, you know sometimes like student is very good at that, because you can do a research and interview and stuff. You can write an article about them. They will love to do like that. So like that as well, you already created a conversation. Be smart. Use your student status. But of course, ask as well if you guys have internship. Even sometimes I was like, if I really like it and stuff, it don't have, it's like I'm willing to do for free, because sometimes I want to go and learn from certain people and stuff. Yeah, but you can do as a a short-term internship, only 1 or 2 weeks is enough. Sometimes you get to see the real industry. So internship or during your holidays and stuff, ask like all this, like because I know that internship, if long only they pay, if short one they won't pay, but get in all these things, volunteer or whatever again. So, or like what I say, if you want to stop them, interview them, do a research or whatever proposal and stuff, interview them for your assignment and stuff. So a lot of times like that, you're going to get close to the industry before, and you will know a bit of the information first. So always ask, look, see, volunteer, go to their events, go to their website. I always talk like that. Okay, so be smart. Okay, and always see the portal and stuff. They always will post stuff out. Okay, be very smart. Okay. Okay, any more question? Okay. Insightful sharing. Wonder along the journey of your career, what's your most prominent challenge you face? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Definitely, I guess the most prominent one is you come to a point. Just now I told you the maturity and stuff. My mistake was, in business, I tend to pity people. I tend to have a very bad hire. So be careful of that. I really have a lot of cost of damage of that. And sometimes it's better for you all to work with professional people. Don't work with friends or family. Because it's going to have a lot of conflicts. Yeah. So of course I've been through like having debts and all those things, but definitely handle it nicely. And that's why I always budget, because I've been through the bad phase I ever faced. And especially in overseas, our money is very small, and mismanagement and mispromise and a lot of things. So I fail a lot of times as well. But the thing is, like, you must always pick up yourself. Yeah. Failing, you definitely will fail. It's just that, are you willing to stand up again? Yeah. And don't repeat the old mistakes. In business, that's why I was like, in front a lot of times. Always remember, yeah, business is not charity. If you want to do charity, don't do business. A lot of times I wanted to be the blueprint, but imagine having a bad person in your team. It's going to, it's not suitable for the whole thing, because you're in a battle. Imagine one person might ruin the whole team. So be careful. That's why I keep saying that. Upgrade yourself, and as well as when the time for you to leave the team or to leave the business, you must know how to exit the plan as well. Always have an exit plan. Yeah, there's nothing as forever green, whatever in what industry. And it's not a shame that from science you go and do art stuff. There's no right or wrong. Okay, I always encourage, it doesn't matter. I see my scientist doctor friend also can go sing. I see people do comedian as well. No right or wrong. So I always say that I always respect people who keep trying. Okay. And I of course, like for us, from science stream jumping to law and then to entertainment, a lot of times I was being looked down a lot of times and being laughed a lot of times, and I lost a lot of friends. But when people see your success, they come back to you. It's very realistic as well. So, but the thing is, know your dream and fight until the end. Okay. I was like, if it's a normal route, nobody's going to listen to my story, right? But if it's crazy and it's workable and I do it by myself, yeah. I mean, like, pioneer is all, I mean, like, whoever pioneer of something is always very crazy. Okay. April, maybe improve yourself. Yeah. How are you dealing with getting overwhelmed too many things? Oh, yeah. Burnout, exhausting. Trust me, I always get burnout. But the thing is, like, it's like exercise. Of course, after burnout and stuff, know how to time yourself to sleep. Especially now after COVID, I know everyone is overwhelmed. I got it, because when I get into university and my event and stuff, I was like, oh my god, it's like 2 years backdated. Everyone is like, we are not sleeping. Trust me, Monday to Friday, sometimes I only sleep 2 hours. Like, you think previous was bad, now it's worst. Now it's worst because yeah, we are settling a lot of things. So I think that one thing, students, definitely eliminate time of socializing sometimes already, because focus on what is important for you. Now, for me, how I manage my time is, I really took off all unnecessary things, focus on one, two, three, four chunks, important ones. Then from that I can speed more strategically, and I have to make sacrification already. So be careful, and know how to play it back. Okay, health is important. Health is still important, but yeah, don't ruin that. And because it's a marathon, but of course, when you can push, you push. It's just like, exam. Yeah, no choice, right? So then later on, you're going to compensate back and stuff. So always be, and always be strategic. That's why I always like my stuff to be near me and stuff, so I can work fast. So it's much more versatile, strategic, and precise. Yeah. So yeah, but no, okay. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, thank you. Thank you, April. Yeah, anything, if you guys want to PM me, my Instagram is there and stuff. If you feel shy here as well, anytime, Instagram me and stuff. Yeah, anyone's want help or any advices and stuff, I'm always there. Yeah, I manage every platform by myself. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pass it back to the MC.
So forgot to turn mic. Sadly, our speaker, Dr. Hugh Wing Chi, will have to leave the meeting early. So, to commemorate and remember to this event, let us have a photography session before moving on to our next speaker. May I invite Dr. Su Wing Chi, Professor Madhya Dr. Sabaria Muhammad Saleh, and our delegates and spectators to turn on your cameras and show us those beautiful smiles. If you do not wish to be in the photo, you may turn off your camera as the photo will be posted on our social media. Passing it to you, multimedia team.
So hello everyone, please be ready. We'll be taking a few photos in 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Su Wing Chi.
Thank you. See you guys. All the best. Keep going. Hi, Dr. Sab. Hi. Hi, everyone. So keep
Thank
going.
you.
All the best. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Su Wing Chi, Dr.
Thank
Sabaria
you.
Muhammad Saleh, our delegation spectators. I'm literally blown away by everyone's beautiful smiles. I hope everyone's gear is still running because we have another special guest with us tonight. Now, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Professor Madhya Dr. Sabaria Muhammad Saleh. She was a communication student graduate from University Science Malaysia, and she continued her studies in Masters in Publishing Studies in University Malaya and gained her PhD in Journalism and Communication Studies in the University of Vienna. She also has various experience. Some of them are Deputy Director in Media at the Executive Director's Office of the Economic Action Council in the Prime Minister's Office, Editor-in-Chief of Journal Komunikasi Malaysia in the Order Malaysian Journal of Communication, the Head of Media Research Cluster at the Centre of Media and Communication Research, FSSK, in UKM, and not only that, she was the invited speaker for the education and media in the time of COVID-19, dealing with misinformation in the classroom, literacy for Malaysian Philippines Network, strategies to identify disinformation at Tech Camp Malaysia Philippines, Fact Check Lab Talk, media literacy and fact checking in universities, and information disorder in the digital era, the 7th International Conference on Communication. The list just goes on and on. So without further ado, let us call upon Professor Madhya Dr. Sabaria Muhammad Saleh to be on screen and give her sharing on media and digital literacy. And with all due respect, Doctor, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. I think there's a problem with my video, so I'm sorry if I frozen in the video. So I'll just share my screen kejap, yeah.
No worries, Doctor.
Okay. Okay. Oh, jap. Dia kata it doesn't support sharing. Alamak. Hold on, yeah. Sorry, ada some technical punya issue. Can I just share my slide dengan one of you and you all bukakan? Because I can't seem to do it via my ni. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Wait, let me ask for the technical team.
Okay, I rasa I dah boleh sebab I join from desktop. Hold on ya. Sorry guys. I tak tahu lah kenapa I tak boleh nak share hari ni.
No
Kejap ya.
problem, Dr.
I have no idea kenapa. Ada problem dengan I punya ni.
Doctor, if you want to pass the slide,
Mhm.
nak pass through mana?
I can kejap. I need to leave the meeting and finally. Okay, done. I dah boleh share. Sebentar. This one. Sekejap. Stresnya. Kejap Oh my god. Can you see my screen tak?
Yes, Doctor, we can.
Is it my slide?
Digital Media Literacy, Sabari Muhammad Sadiq.
betul.
Right.
Oh my god. Okay. Firstly, sorry sangat everyone. I am so sorry for all the technical hiccups and all that. I'm actually like a Zoom punya girl. And I'm usually on Zoom or Google Meet. So this is like my very few times guna WebEx. So anyway, hi everyone. Thank you for the kind introduction. I am Sabaria. So my students usually call me Dr. Sab. So a bit about myself. I'm an expert on media and information literacy. When you hear about fake news, disinfo, misinfo, so those are the things that I do a lot of research on. So I'm a co-founder of Jomcheck Malaysia. So Jomcheck Malaysia is a fact-checking coalition between media organizations, academicians, and civil societies like Bersih and CIJ. So what we did was we did fact-checking during the recent general elections. So we have our website, not website, we have our social media accounts and etc. And I'm also the university supervisor for Fact Check Lab. So it's a fact-checking organization, an independent one. One of the two in Malaysia. The other one is MyCheck. So as you can see, I'm quite actively involved in this fact-checking arena. And I do a lot of research for UNESCO, Google, and also do a lot of collaboration with TikTok, not to buat TikTok videos, but for research purposes and to be speakers. So that's a bit about myself. So today I'm going to talk about digital media literacy, which I think is a very, very important skill that everyone should have. not just media students, but also, students from other faculties, and even, our sisters, brothers, parents, and etc. So my first question is to all of you, how many social media accounts do you have? Maybe you can answer like in the chat box or something. Okay, one. Okay, that's a surprise. Three. Okay, because I know some people, they would have, three Instagram accounts. For instance, one to stalk this artist, one to stalk a guy, and one, to share their own pictures, and etc. So, some people would have multiple social media accounts. So Hani said some that he doesn't even remember of. I have seen people have 10 social media accounts, including social media accounts that, they have help to administer for the faculty or society or groups, and etc. So yeah. So sometimes, you cannot help but have a lot of social media accounts. I think I myself, I have, I think, more than 6 easily. Because, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, a few of, and etc. So a lot of people, everyone, I think almost everyone has social media accounts, and it's becoming one of a very important platform for people to search for information. It can be information about health, or anything about economy, about environment, and etc. So I would just like to share with all of you MCMC's Internet Survey year 2020. This is the most recent one. I bet, I mean, if they do a more current research, TikTok would be in the top 3 social networking application. Because as you can see, this is from year 2020. Back in 2020, a lot of people were using Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. It's the top 3 social networking application. It might be different now. I mean, I'm assuming now it will probably be Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. But yeah, we'll have to wait for MCMC to come up with a new one. So the top 3 communication platform application is WhatsApp, 98.7%, Facebook Messenger, and Telegram. So a lot of people use WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp has become one of the most important means of communication, not just between you and your friends, not just between you and your family members, but also for school, for classes. I bet, like, a lot of you have WhatsApp groups for your lectures, with your lecturer, a group with your lecturer, and then a study group, and then, group for your assignments, and whatever not. It has become one of the most used communication application. And it's not a surprise that WhatsApp is also the platform in which a lot of false information are disseminated. About 83% of false information are shared via WhatsApp. Right? So 86.5% of content is shared via social media. So what do I mean by content? Content can be pictures, it can be your status updates, it can be your, your sharing, your luahan perasaan, it could be you sharing your review on certain movies, it could be you're sharing your food review, it could just be a picture of you and your family, for the recent Eid, and etc. And it could also be content which you retweet, repost, reshare, not a content not originally written by you, written by someone else, but you share it, and it's considered as sharing. So 86.5% of content is shared via social media. Bearing in mind that this is a statistic from 2020, so it might be different in 2023, right? So when there's so many people sharing information, sharing content on social media or any media platform per se, it causes what we call, or scholars call, an information disorder. It's a tsunami of information. you have too many information that you cannot distinguish between, you know, what information is true, what is factual, and what is false, you know, and etc. Because everyone is an influencer. You might not have a lot of followers. You might only have 5 or 10 followers on your Instagram, for instance. But let's say you share, you know, product rating on Shopee, and that influences someone to buy or not buy a product, you are already an influencer, right? Or we know when you go to a hotel and you are not satisfied with the stay and etc., and you leave a bad comment, in a way, whatever you write has the potential to persuade people to stay there or to not stay there. So this is why I said everyone is an influencer, not just people who are on TV. You know, it could also be someone who shares a forwarded message on WhatsApp. And I bet we get a lot of that every day. Forwarded message from, you know, our auntie, or, you know, this is actually a forwarded message from, you know, a WhatsApp group based on the taman that I am staying in. So people like to share forwarded message, and this was during the MCO and during when COVID-19 was still a pandemic, and everybody was worried about it, and it was shared even though we don't know who is someone's wife. And if that someone's wife was really in Hospital Sungai Buloh. So it is, you know, everyone can share, and this form of sharing has the tendency, has the potential to influence people, right? And this is why we say it's an information disorder. You have also, you know, information shared on Instagram, for instance, by a doctor, you know, a certified medical doctor, but then you also have people who shares testimony on, for instance, you know, diabetes medication, so to say, you know, you know, how taking a certain supplement supposedly help to cure diabetes and etc. By searching for a hashtag, you know how some people, when they're desperate to look for information, to look for a cure and etc., they will just try anything and everything. And this is worrying because this testimony has no, might not have a credibility. It's very difficult to validate a testimony. How do you know, that person is not paid to say it, and etc. And the types of information shared as well. Okay, this is a group which I have been observing, intermittent fasting Malaysia. Intermittent fasting is like a popular type of, you know, weight loss, weight management, I would say phenomena. And a lot of people share their testimony, and a lot of people also share their knowledge. Their knowledge, when I say knowledge, is something that they read, but they might not have, you know, a proper training or a degree on that glycolysis and whatever not. But they just explain based on what they understand, and it might be wrong. So this is how easy it is for a nobody to become a somebody, for a nobody to share information which they are not actually an expert of. So that's why you see, you know, a lot of people sharing false information about medication, about COVID-19, for instance, about COVID-19 remedies, and etc. Because it is so easy. It is so easy to type and share. It is so easy to repost, and it is so easy to retweet. And this is the concern that I have and a lot of scholars have. So my next question is, how do you use social media? A lot of people use social media to seek for information. Like for me, for instance, I use social media to look for, you know, places to eat in Cheras, you know, or top 10 food to try in Taiping, for instance. I use social media to seek for those kinds of information. I also use social media, you know, to look for information for my, you know, teaching and learning, to share with my students, and etc. So a lot of people use social media to seek for information, so much so that social media has become one of the top platform that people use to look for news, to search for news. This is also something that has been, worrying our communications, digital communication ministry, in which they're actually thinking about introducing a new law and etc. But that one is like a separate matter, right? So people use social media to share information, to seek information, and of course to share information or share content. So what happens when you share content? Do you actually just simply click share, or do you actually understand the content? Do you ensure the validity of the content? Do you verify whether the content is from a reliable source or not? And are you sure that the content does not contain any offensive or obscene materials, and etc.? So this is what MCMC found, that people who were in the survey claim that they actually understand the content, verify it, and etc. before sharing. But my question would be, okay, if these people understand the content, verify, and etc., why is it that there's still 83% of false information shared via WhatsApp? So I don't know. It's bewildering to me. It seems quite ironic as well. So sometimes it's do you really do it, or the people who answered the survey probably just simply tick, right? So what are the actions taken before sharing a content? So these actions taken to share a content is best based on your intention. Actually, what's your intention in sharing a content? Do you intend to cause harm, or are you sharing a specific content just because you feel that, okay, this is something that is important for people to know? So there are two types of, I would say, people, two categories, okay, of content sharing. There are people who has an intention to harm. By intention to harm, it means, to kill a political character, for instance, to defame someone, to bully a person. You can see this happening, during the general elections, when, a lot of contents, memes, parodies, and etc. is shared with an intention to, politically assassinate a political character. So this means that you have an intention to harm. You see the trolls, cyber, not cyber bullies, they bully and etc. with an intention to harm. Cyber troopers, and all that, which purposely create a content with an intention to defame someone, to embarrass a person, with bad intention. But there is also this one group which genuinely share a piece of information without any intention to harm. It could be our grandma, our aunties, uncles, and all that, which share, for instance, a remedy for COVID-19. Okay, you can try this. Try eating ginger and whatever not, which has not been proven to be true. But I'm just sharing in case, or I thought you should know because, or tak apalah, I'm just sharing, you can, verify it yourself. So some people, they find that it is very important to share information, although the credibility has not been validated because of this we are in a collectivistic society, and it's very important for my children's safety, and etc. For instance, like I shared here, the white van phenomena. The white van phenomena is not just in Malaysia; it also happens in the US and a lot of countries all over the world. It also makes me wonder why a white van, but yes, it's a white van phenomena. I cannot remember how many times I get messages about white vans, which supposedly said about, organ trafficking, kidnappers, and etc. for us to be careful, and it's proven to be something which is not true or something which has happened like 10 years before and it resurfaced. So credibility has often not been validated, but the sharing, the reason they share is genuinely out of concern, out of care, and out of, concern for someone's safety. So information disorder, this is what information disorder is. There you have people who share content with intention to harm, but you also have people who share content with genuine intention, care, and etc., which makes it really hard for us media users to determine this type of content. Is there any intention to harm, or is this really a genuine content, and etc. As users, we are drowned in this tsunami of information. So these are the challenges in using social media to determine between facts and fiction, what is true and what is credible, and etc. But it's very important, actually, for us to know how can we be smart users, how can we know, or how can we try to distinguish between facts or between false information and information which is true. So I'm going to share with you some of the challenges in using social media. So one of the challenges in using social media is there is a possibility to misinterpret a piece of information. So what I'm sharing now with you is something that really happened when KJ was still our Minister of Health. So they used KJ's supposedly screenshot as an example on KKM's website. And on that website, it says that status Tun Janji Temu, his appointment status is still in process. But at that time, actually, he already did, a live vaccination on live TV, where every Malaysian who was watching TV saw that he was vaccinated. So when this was shared after that live TV, people were questioning is it true that KJ has been vaccinated? Because this screenshot says that he is still waiting for his appointment. So, a lot of people started to share, please check, please investigate. And, people are coming up with their own theories and whatever not. But actually, what happened is that this is not even a current screenshot of KJ's vaccination appointment. It was just simply something that is used, on the website as an example. But people took it seriously, and it caused people to misinterpret and come up with their own conspiracy theories. So this does not only happen here, but to a lot of other cases and a lot of other issues. So this is one of the challenges in using social media and in using digital media. There is a possibility that as users, we misinterpret what we see or what we read on social media. Another example of how information can be misinterpreted is, as I shared here. So as you can see here, remember when during the MCO and COVID-19 was a pandemic, we get this every day. Every day, KKM or the news, through the news agencies, will share the statistics, of death and etc. And it will of course share this map with the numbers of cases according to the states. So as you can see here, why do I say that it has the potential to cause misinterpretation? It's because of the usage of the color red. As you can see here, every state is red in color despite, for instance, Perlis only having 3 cases, or despite Sarawak, one of the largest state in Malaysia, has 464 cases compared to Selangor, which has 7,171 cases. So the cases, even though you have 16 cases, 767 cases and whatever, every state is colored in red, and when you see red, it automatically makes you think danger. We are doomed. Everybody is going to get COVID, etc. And at that point of time, it caused people to panic. It really did cause people to panic because they are worried. They say to close everything again, to have the strict MCO and etc. When actually this could have been avoided if you do not use red color, which has the connotation that it's dangerous, right? And I think soon after they stopped using these colors, and they started using different colors for different levels or categories or numbers of people who are infected with COVID-19. So even the usage of colors has the potential to make people misinterpret information. So this is also another example of how statistics can be misinterpreted. So in 2021, if you remember, there were a lot of people who protested on Twitter and asked for all factories to be closed. And a lot of people also question, why are factories allowed to be open when cases associated with clusters, 41% of it came from factories. So a lot of people question that. But at that point of time, I was with the Economic Action Council, so I had access to this data, right? So when we look at the data, actually, for all the total cases, cases from factory is only 6%. So when they look at this pie chart is cases associated with clusters. So as you can see, non-cluster cases consist of 86% of the total cases. So this is where, netizens or media users who misinterpreted this data, this pie chart and all that, came up to the conclusion that all factories must be closed, when in reality, only 6% of cases were associated with factories. So this also caused an uproar. A lot of people were not happy with the government at that point of time, for not being, taking harsher actions, more stern actions, and etc. But actually, they have their reason. So, social media, sharing of information, and etc., there is a potential for people to misinterpret, and it could cause harm, and etc. Right. Another challenge in using social media is the structural component of social media. What do I mean by structural component? Structural component means you do not actually have a lot of space to say what you want to say. Sometimes you are restricted by the number of words. You're restricted with the number of pictures, for instance. You're restricted with, how much you can share, and etc. This is a very recent example actually with the heat wave. And Berita Harian Online actually shared this status update. Minum ais ketika cuaca panas, saluran darah berisiko pecah. So it says that if you drink water, during this heat wave, your veins and etc. has the potential to burst. So this was actually commented, and this is actually not what was explained in the whole article. So when I read the article, actually this is what the experts say is a myth. It's a myth, but this was what was picked up by Berita Harian Online to be on the status update, to be on its Facebook page. So not everybody would read the whole article. Not everybody would click and read. So if it was me, for instance, who do not like to read newspaper article, and if I just read the status update, I will obviously come to a wrong conclusion. And this is all because of the structural component of social media. So that's the danger of it. So that's why it's very important to not just read the headlines, to not just read the first paragraph, but to read the whole article to get the right context of the story. So also it's very important to realize sometimes, the media, they like to just, write news based on, Instagram captions or Twitter feed, Twitter threads, and etc. So if you read those type of news, you must always be aware of the structural component of social media, that not everything is explained through this Twitter feed, Instagram caption, and etc. So there might be an underlying story, there might be another side to the story, as a media user, we must be smart and check and see if, is that the whole picture, or is there a different side to the story? Right. And also, okay, another challenge of using social media is credibility of sources. Sometimes when we see someone famous share something, and for instance, I'm like, if I was, Rihanna's biggest fan, and Rihanna shares this, I will be automatically like, oh my God, this must be true. There is a possibility. If you're like a fan of BTS, and for instance, BTS shares, I don't know, a picture of something, there is a potential for you to like, share, retweet, and whatever, not without sharing the credibility and the validity of the information. So this was shared by Rihanna. This was in 2020 when Australia had the bushfire. And she just wrote like a devastating hashtag Australia. But actually, this picture has found to be misleading. This is actually the picture that Rihanna picked up. It's not a NASA satellite picture of Australia. It's actually an artist's depiction of the bushfire which happened in Australia. So it's actually not as bad as what we see in the picture. So it is actually misleading. So it could give people the wrong impression about what was happening in Australia, or they could be questioning, what is the government of Australia doing? Are they doing anything to help with the bushfires? And it could cause an uproar just from a picture. So just because someone is famous, just because someone is someone that we like, for instance, or respect, does not mean whatever that they share is true. It is still very important to check if it is the credibility and the validity of the information. So, and some more examples, something that I got from during the COVID-19. So Suhaimi Saad, for instance, he's like a nasheed singer. He has a huge follower as well, who says that, if you use Cengkeh, you can cure COVID-19. And he said it's proven. And he shared it. And the thing that frustrates me is that media, an online news portal actually shared what he says. So that also gives, like, is he really credible in sharing these kinds of information? So this is something that we should always question. Is this person the best person to share this type of information? So let's say, like, if you are an orthopedic surgeon, it's okay for you to share about bones, muscles, and whatever. But when an orthopedic surgeon talks about giving birth, gynecology kind of information, is he or she really the best person to talk about it? Is he really an authority to talk about it? Is he or she really knowledgeable to talk about something which is not their area of specialty? Like for me, myself, even, I would not be able to talk about organizational comms because my area of expertise is media and information literacy. So you must always check whoever talks about or shares about that piece of information, are they really the expert in that area? So this is another person that I follow, okay, Sharifah Shahira. She's quite active. I think she has been featured as well On the media, she talks a lot about politics. Right, that's her area of specialty. She's like a political analyst and also a feminist. So she shared her experience in using ivermectin. And she says that using ivermectin can cure COVID-19, and she preaches about it and tries to influence people who use ivermectin for COVID-19 despite it not being, agreed by KKM. So it's very dangerous because she has a huge followers and it could influence people. And you know how people can misinterpret as well about vaccines, and you know the harms that vaccines supposedly cause, and all that. So it's very important to check for credibility because anyone and everyone can share content. I can share content. My 5-year-old can share content. Anyone, everyone can share content, but are they really the expert in that particular area? Are they really someone knowledgeable in that area? Or are they just sharing the content in hopes to get followers, in hopes that it will be viral and people will start following them, and etc. So this is something that we must think about when we search for information, or when we access social media and the digital media, especially when seeking for information. And this is also a reminder, like, you know, if you're an active social media user as well, like, before you share, always think, you know, am I the best person to talk about this thing? Am I really the expert to talk about it? What are the repercussions, you know, of me sharing this? Is it really important for me to share this to my followers and friends on social media? So this is also something that we should always have in the back of our mind. Right. Okay. And another challenge in using social media, digital media, is algorithm. So algorithm is determined by, you know, what you usually click, what you usually search for, and what you usually read, watch, and etc. So they can identify, and based on what you usually click, search, and like, social media will suggest, you know, suggested pages, suggested accounts, and whatever not. This is actually an actual example of my Netflix account. So as you can see, because clearly I watch a lot of Korean Korean dramas, K dramas. So you can see that, you know, a lot of the suggested suggested account is, you know, a lot of Korean dramas. You can see it frustrates my husband, to be honest, because, you know, he's like, where are all the suggested, you know, suggested programs from Hollywood and whatever not? Because whenever he switch it on, you know, a lot of the entries are Korean. So it's as opposed to what my friend, this is an actual screenshot from my friend's social media account. As you can see, he watches a variety of programs, be it from Hollywood, from Korea, and etc. So as you can see, the suggested for him, it varies, as opposed to mine, which is, you know, I would say 90% would be K-drama. So this is the effect of algorithm. The algorithm also affects your information searching. When you search for information, and the suggested web pages that comes out on Google will be based on your algorithm as well. You can try it out yourself, actually. Like, let's say when you try to Google Israel, for instance, what is suggested for you might differ with what is suggested for your friend, because it will be based on what you always search, what you always read, and what you always access, or what you always like. So this is the danger. The danger is that with algorithm, you would not be exposed to information which is not in your favor, which is not something that you like, for instance. So this affects your information searching, and directly will affect how you form your decision, how you make decision on a certain issue or certain manner, because you are only constantly exposed to information that which you like, which you normally read, and which you have access to. So it's very important, and one of the way to tackle this problem is to make your search words a variety of search words, and also to not just stick to, probably like me, not to just stick to Korean drama, to expose myself to also other genres, and etc. So that's like a simple example, right? So algorithm. So the limitations, as I mentioned earlier, the limitations of using social media is that you are exposed to misinterpretation of information, and there is a tendency for you to misinterpret information. And then the structural component, which includes the number of words used, even the length of video, which might not give you the whole story or give you the whole picture. And then also limitation would be content shared by someone we trust is automatically assumed as credible. So this is something that we need to be aware of, and we must probably start to be quite skeptical in whatever information we come across. And that algorithm influences the type of information we are exposed to. So this is something that we should all be aware of, challenges and limitations when you use social media and digital media. So with these challenges comes the threat. We are exposed to threats. By threats, I mean, it might not be a death threat, for instance, but there are potential harms which is caused by, the sharing of false information, misinformation, or misinterpretation, and etc. based on the limitations. So the proliferation of unverified information, sharing of unverified information which has not been determined whether to be true or not, have caused severe repercussions. It has caused death. In Iran, 700 people died because they drank methanol because they believed that it could cure COVID-19. And it's based on false rumor, which spread, and thousands of people were actually hospitalized as well. And there's also the cases of poisoning involving ivermectin in Malaysia itself, and also something that I must share here, in India there are a lot of deaths due to sharing of unverified information via WhatsApp. There are, I think, easily more than 30 deaths because of sharing of unverified information via WhatsApp. It could be information about, safety. For instance, it is believed that these 5 people who are in this village are out to get young women. So, like I said, we are in a collectivistic society, and because they feel that there is a need to protect their young girls and etc., they started to attack people who were not confirmed to be the perpetrators. So, some people died because of this sharing of unverified information, and yes, so it is something that we must always think of before we share anything on our social media accounts. Right. With that, I would like to thank you and open up to Q&A.
Thank you, Prof. Madya, Dr. Sabria, Muhammad Saleh, for such a wonderful speech. Sorry, I didn't realize I didn't open the camera. Okay, so do any of you have any question about Prof. Madya, Dr. Sabaria sharing? If there is any question, don't be shy to ask. If you want to turn on your mic, you may drop your question in the chat box. Okay, so now we'll give you guys some time to turn on your mic and type your question in the chat box. Okay, first question from Hani. How do we educate the older generation, especially about not blindly trusting chain message on WhatsApp?
Okay, actually kan it's quite a challenge to help educate the older generation. Firstly, it's a challenge because they are older and we have this thing whereby it's not easy to correct any false information which they share and etc because out of respect, but I think it is always good to have a conversation with them, with our parents, with our grandmas, whenever they share uh, uh, a misinfo, I mean, an information which you think is dubious, which you think might be false and all that. I think it's okay to ask them, are you sure this is true? Maybe not in a group chat, but maybe when you meet them personally, and you can, or you can always say, or you do your own verification and share that this is not true, and etc. But Tula, it's quite difficult actually. This is something that a lot of scholars are thinking of. It's easier to educate younger generation, but with the older generation, and I don't know about you guys, but I see like my parents-in-law, they are on TikTok as well now, not doing content, but they are looking and watching videos shared on TikTok. And on TikTok, you only have like they only have a few minutes to share, so whatever they share on TikTok, it's not the real story, it's not the whole picture, and etc. So I would say it's good to talk about it, to start a conversation, because I have some students who were in fact check lab who started the conversation with their parents, and now they are the fact checkers of the family. The parents will go, do you think this is true, can you please check this for me, and etc. So it's a start, to have that conversation with them. I hope that answers your question, Honey.
Thank you, Dr. Savaria. So I'm waiting for another question. Do you have any more questions? So maybe we can proceed to the next agenda, Doctor. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. So thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Savaria,
you
for
so
the
much. Thank you so
briefing.
much, everyone.
Now we would like to call upon our program team to give a short briefing for iSwitch Day 4.
Hi everyone, I will give short briefing for tomorrow, which is therefore across the globe. Alright, at 7:45 until 8 p.m., delegates enter the banking room and check in. 8 until 10 p.m., briefing of the program. At 10 until 8:30 p.m., Mergley English Dictionary. 8:30 until 8:50 p.m., let's learn to make Metronome. 8:15 until 9:10 p.m., how to write simple Chinese word. 9:10 until 9:50 p.m. International Student Session. 9:15 until 9:55 p.m. short briefing for preparation. 9:55 until 10 p.m. photography session and check out. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, program team. I hope everyone is clear about tomorrow's session. Okay, hence, before officially ending today's meeting, let us take a virtual group photo with everyone to remember today's event. May I invite Dr. Suwinchi, if Dr. is still here, Dr. Sabaria Muhammad Saleh, and our delegates and spectators to turn on your cameras and show us those beautiful smiles. If you do not wish to be in the photo, you may turn off your camera as the photo will be posted on our social media. Passing it to you, multimedia team.
So hello, before we wrap off today program, I would like if everyone open their camera and flash us with your brightest smile. So we'll be waiting like for a few seconds until everyone open their camera, and please show thumbs up if you are all ready. We will wait like 10 or 5 seconds. Come on, everyone, please open your camera. So is there anyone want to open the camera? Okay, show me thumbs up if you are all ready. Like this. Okay, I think please be ready in 1, 2, and 3. Show me your brightest smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Subinji, Dr. Sabaria Muhammad Saleh, our delegates and spectators. Everyone is so stunning and handsome tonight.
Alright, everyone, please do not leave just yet. The QR code for the attendance link will be shared shortly. Do fill in the form before leaving the meeting. If you're posting any photos or videos on today's event, don't forget to tag our official Instagram account at iswitch_2023. Last but not least, we apologize for any shortcomings throughout the entirety of this event.
Yes, everyone. We also hope that you enjoy and learn a lot from the sharings. I look forward to seeing all of you again tomorrow for our fourth day.
Thank you, everyone. Signing off as your MC, I am Fazlena.
And I'm Daniel. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path. I don't care who wanna tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart. I don't care who the sky full of stars.